This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakar Kadesh. Double honors to the apostles, elders and brethren, a great millstone. Shalom to the Akim, Akwath, and the confusion of face all around the earth. To everyone I say Shalom. I figured I'd bring a quick lesson before I report into the plantation. Salakia for my shirt. I just threw a shirt on to cover myself so I don't wear the company shirt. This lesson is something that I've been thinking about, praying about for a couple of days now. And I think I'm going to entitle it, What's in the Name? Or something to that effect. Because with Israel right now, or Salakia, let me take that back. I would say with those who are still in Christendom, have an issue with the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Those are the names that we're supposed to use, okay? Yahweh is our Father. Yahweh Shai is the Son, our Savior, who came to save Israel. So I'm just going to run through a few quick scriptures. Lord willing, this won't be long, but it will be edifying if someone should decide to watch this video. Okay. First, I think what I want to do, I wrote them down. Let's move over to, I read Proverbs 30 and 4. Okay. So clearly, the Father and the Son have a name. Each one has their own name. Okay. So quickly, I'm going to run over, because I don't have much time. I'm going to run over to Acts, and in no particular order. But Lord willing, it'll make sense. Let's go over to Acts 4, and I'll read Acts 4, 1 through 17 maybe. But like I said, the names are a stumbling block to these people, man. They can't get this Christ, Jesus thing out of their head, and calling Yahweh God, like that's his name. His name is not God. God said, these greasy pastors that we've listened to all of these years were totally wrong. And the name has been hid from us for so many years. But the Lord, through his grace and mercy, has brought men back into the earth over the last, who knows, 40, 50, 60 years to bring the Most High's name back into the earth, man, so that we can learn. So we in those days, those last days. And there was something else that came to my mind was, I remember when I was a younger man, maybe 20, 21, I could remember old people saying, well, when they talked about the faithful 144,000, they used to say, well, those are the people that's going to be left here when the rapture occurs to preach to the rest of the world. Okay, how wrong were they on that? Because they thought that they were going to be leaving here beamed up or float up into the sky, and everybody else was going to be left here. But I think what you see now is that door or that window of time that you had, that old time religion, so to speak, that door is closed. And so yes, the men of the Lord are here on the planet and are preaching the truth about the gospel right now in this day and age. So they didn't float away and go anywhere. They still here with us, because if I'm not mistaken, in Matthew 24, the Lord does say immediately after the tribulation will you see the signs of the Son of Man coming in the clouds. So they were totally wrong about that. So anyway, I don't mean to ramble. Let me get on with what I got to do, because I got to report into this place. Okay, so Acts 4, verse 1. And as they spake unto the people, the priests, the captain of the temple, and the Sadducees came upon them, being grieved that they taught the people and preached through Yahushua the resurrection from the dead. And they laid hands on them and put them in hold unto the next day, for it was now eventide. Howbeit many of them which heard the word believed, and the number of the men was about 5,000. And it came to pass on the morrow that their rulers and elders and scribes, and Ananias the high priest, and Caiaphas, and John, if I said that right, Salaki if I'm wrong, and Alexander, and as many as were of the kindred of the high priest, were gathered together at Jerusalem. And when they had set them in the midst, they asked, by what power or by what name have ye done this? So don't let people tell you that the name is not important, that you can call God whatever you want, he can be whatever you want, or you could say Jesus, you could say Allah, you could say whatever false name that they want you to say. No, you can't. The name is important. Okay? The name is extremely important, because in that name is your salvation. Okay? And don't let anyone take that away from you, since you know the truth now. Okay? So going on, let me see. And when they had set them in the midst, they asked, by what power or by what name have ye done this? Then Peter, filled with the Holy Spirit, said unto them, ye rulers of the people and elders of Israel, if we this day be examined of the good deed done to the impotent man, by what means he is made whole, be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel, that by the name of Yahushua HaMashiach of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom God raised from the dead, even by him doeth this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner. Verse 12, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, which is another point, because people think that, you see the brothers out on the street, or whatever the case, bringing an epistle on YouTube, or whatever the case may be, they think that you're unlearned and you're stupid, okay, because you don't have some big doctorate degree from some cemetery school. That's what I call it, seminary, or some kind of theologian, or what they deem to be an expert in the scriptures, okay? So it's the same thing with these wicked ass people back then. They figured that Peter and John were ignorant, okay? So going on, let's see. Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahushua. And beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they could say nothing against it. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, saying, what shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle hath been done by them, as is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. But that it spread no further among the people, let us straitly threaten them, that they may speak henceforth to no man in this name. So in the name of Yahushua is where the miracles done, and the Pharisees, Sadducees, and all them, they didn't want them telling them that that's the name that they used for that man to receive the miracle and become whole again. So the name is extremely important, and don't let anyone take that away from you. Let me run through a couple more. Lord willing, I can get through it. I'm going to move, since I'm in Acts, let me move over to Acts 10 quickly. And this is just to give you something to think about, in which, when I prayed last night, what was heavy on me was feeding the sheep, feed the lamb, okay? And I'm still such one, because I all week long, I hadn't posted anything. I had things on my mind to bring out, but I was too busy watching all the other videos from the elders, from the apostles and the brothers. So, you know, I just wait in the spirit until the spirit moves me to make a lesson. Then that's how I make my lessons. Okay, so let's move on to Acts 10 and look at 43. To him gave all the prophets witness that through his name whosoever believeth in him shall receive remission of sins. Okay, and that's for us. Using his name is how we get the remission for sins. Okay, then I'm going to move quickly over to Revelations 19 and 13. I wish I didn't have to go, man, but what you going to do, right? Wow. Revelations 19:13. Okay, this is kind of hit and miss, so you can go back and read the whole chapter. Revelation 19 and verse 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. Okay, all right. Let me go over to Matthew 12 quickly. Matthew 12, and I think I got 14 through 21. Matthew 12, 14 through 21. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him. But when Yahushua knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them all, and charged them that they should not make him known, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Behold my servant, whom I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flax shall he not quench, till he send forth judgment unto victory. And in his name shall the Gentile Salakia, and in his name shall the Gentiles trust. Okay. I'm gonna have to drop a couple of these scriptures and let me go to John. Let's go to John 2 and verse 22. John 2 and 22. Let me see. Well, I'll start at 20. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? But he spake of the temple of his body. This is Yahushua. Okay. When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this unto them, and they believed the scriptures and the word which Yahushua had said. Now when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover, and this is something else, see, now you can dig this out. Now you see, he's in Jerusalem after he is risen at the Passover in the Feast of Days. Many believed in his name when they saw the miracles which he had did. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to get to, was the miracles that he did in his name. Okay. And then let's go to Hebrews quickly. Hebrews. I wish I didn't have to rush, man. But I wanted to just kind of get this done because it's been on me, and it'll bug me until I get done working today. I just want to get it out right now. Let's go to Hebrews 6 and 10. Well, I start at 9. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we must speak. For God, or the Most High, is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister. Okay, so those are just a few scriptures that I had jotted down. Like I said, I just wanted to bring a quick lesson today. Lord willing, it was edifying, and once again, when I call out the chapters, you can go back and read the chapters. What's in the name? Your salvation is in the name. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakal Kadesh. Peace to the hopeful elect of Israel, and to everyone I say, Shalom.